Alright, guys. We are here with a winners match in Group D of course, the DreamHack Masters season finals. This here is a match which we have wanted so many times over the years, and unfortunately this man up here has let us down. He doesn't want to play small tournaments. He doesn't want to play small online tournaments, and when he goes to the big ones, he doesn't play as well as in GSL. He is undisputed the greatest GSL player of all time, though, in that he dominated GSL for all of 2018, won every single cup there in the peak of the Korean scene, and I think he's won one since then and made it to another grand final, something like that. I think he's got 4 GSL titles at this point. This is MARU from Team Envy, an absolute monster. But he's going up against someone who a lot of fanboys, myself included, often refer to as the greatest of all time, the GOAT of StarCraft 2, the Finnish phenom, SERRAL. Now, what's so funny is these two players kind of existed in parallel worlds for 2018, right? We had SERRAL dominate in a way no one had ever dominated before. Ever. 2018, SERRAL dominated the WCS circuit, won every single tournament for that year. But over in Korea, in the Korean scene, MARU won every single GSL. And there was so much hype building about, oh my god, these guys are going on, like no one has won that many championships and dominated a region as hard as these two. They both made so many epic comebacks over 2018. And we're like, who's going to be the world champion? Who's going to be the best? And before the world championship, a few months, we had GSL versus the world, which is kind of a series of show matches, but there's also a big tournament as well. And unfortunately, we only got to see them play in the team format, which was a best of one stage. SERRAL won. Quite convincingly, but it was a best of one. It was one map, and fanboys went, well, SERRAL's the better player. He beat MARU on LAN. Other people said, it's one game. You know, what's that really mean? It's one game. But SERRAL also went on to win the bracket tournament as well. And MARU went on and didn't get that far in that. They went to the World Championship. Everyone was saying, this is where we'll get it. We'll get that big best of 7 grand finals. I think they might have even been on opposite sides of the bracket. So they were lined up for either a grand finals or maybe a semi-finals run in if it happened. And MARU lost 0-3 in the first round to SOS. SOS one-based him every game, and MARU kept on attacking into a one-base Protoss. He just didn't look like the MARU that we know. He didn't play smart builds. SOS played very tricky builds. One-base Blink, who does that first, Terran? Well, SOS does, and MARU played into his hands, and we kind of just got upset. I mean, literally, MARU was so tilted by game 3 in that best of 3 series, he literally forgot his supply depot, his second depot, and was supply blocked for like, I think 10 seconds or more while getting rushed by SOS. And it was painful to watch because we were stopped that. SERRAL went on, won the world championship. Now, this is obviously why a lot of people say SERRAL's the greatest of all time. MARU isn't. But you've got to remember that MARU has been so good in Korea since, and he went on to win more GSLs than that. He's got so many GSL titles, so many high performances within Korea, but it's when he goes outside of that GSL format, that long format, where sometimes he does struggle. So I love seeing these two play because it's such an interesting match. We'll talk about the series in a moment as MARU does snipe that creep tumor. He's going 2-1-1, guys. It's a 2-1-1. It's a double barracks marine drop. It's a very micro-intensive strategy, one which people would say, you're absolutely insane to do that against a guy called like SERRAL. SERRAL's just going to defend it with Queen Lane, get ahead on drones, and he's going to out-macro you. But more recently, MARU and other Terrans have been getting a pretty quick third command center behind this. Before, people used to always go for the drop and take forever to get a third base. You're going to see MARU, if he opts for that quick third command center, which I think he'll plonk down probably in the wall, he's going to get it down maybe before the drop even moves out, and cut a little bit of marine production behind it. Alternatively, we could see a quick third barracks swap onto this reactor or the factory, and either Hellbats or extra marines joining in for a quick, say, triple medevac stim, maybe combat shields marine timing or marine Hellbat timing as he takes out one of these bots. Anyways, you guys might kind of recognize this. I'm not sure what order we're putting these videos out on YouTube, but we were actually just casting MARU vs Showtime and kind of talking about the responses we were getting to our Age of Empires video of people saying, MARU's the GOAT. How dare you call SERRAL the GOAT? And I was saying, look, basically MARU, if you count GSL as the best tournament in the world, the only thing that matters, MARU is the best in the world. But of course, SERRAL has not wanted to go and pick himself up and move to another country. He has never competed in GSL. We haven't seen him there in that long format tournament, big breaks between games, lots of planning for each match, which MARU excels in. But the international scene, the World Championships, all the big tournaments that combine the Korean scene and the rest of the world, they're always weekend tournaments. There are always lots of games in a short period of time, and MARU historically has not performed in them. And for him to get that title, for him to say, I am better than SERRAL, I am the best here, he really needs to start doing that. And this here is a DreamHack Masters season finals. Other people, they'll say, oh, it's not played on the Korean server. Yeah, not for either of them. They're playing with equal ping. And you know what? MARU actually gets the server advantage because of ESL's rules in the ESL Pro Tour. They play 2 games US West, 1 on Central in a best of 3. In a best of 5, it's 3 on US West, 2 on Central. It's slight, but it is a server advantage for MARU. But Terran's more weak with lag. There's always people going to be making excuses. Guys, go for it. Go for it in your comment section. Go for it in the chat. Go. Keep making your excuses. I'm not saying that SERRAL is far better player than MARU. What I'm saying is I want to see MARU start to smash some of these weekend tournaments so we can put him up there and say, hey, it's not just that GSL format that he kicks ass in. He can do exceptionally well in other ones. At Katowice, a bit of a short form tournament, though it is spread a little more. He did manage to get to the semi-finals, stopped only by Raynor, the world champion, earlier this year. That was a very good performance by him. But let's be real, his early game was outclassed by Raynor. His late game, much better than Raynor's. It's just Raynor found a way to overwhelm him later on in that series off of the early game leads he was getting. So, as we look at this, we are looking at this not as, oh, this best of 3 in a group stage decides it. We're looking at MARU's overall performance in this tournament and more of these tournaments. And if he can actually start performing in these, he's going to do so much for his legacy. Does get a cancel on the 4th base, but a big Ling run by comes in, and that quick 3rd base we were talking about there is going to go. Not many SCVs, but oh, MARU a little slow to pull those SCVs back. 3 SCVs go down. Doesn't lose a single Zergling. 4th base going to be taken on the bottom. Now, this 4th base has a very scary ledge above it, and he's building tanks right now, is MARU. So MARU's already got the double factory, guys. He's doing what we call the Dream. For those who don't know, Dream is an amazing Terran player in Korea. What does he like to do? Rush 2 factories and then just drown you in Widow Mine drops. How SERRAL responds to these Widow Mine drops is going to decide the outcome of this game. Can SERRAL spread? Because that Widow Mine drop's coming in, it's being spotted. He's got a Spine, he's got a Spore, he's got a Queen. He's got to take minimal damage from these Widow Mine drops. He's going to pull those drones out of there. Drilling Claws is done, so they burrow very quickly. Already gets 4 drones. He's going for the natural. He's going to put more in there. There's no detection there, which means these are going to be hard to take out, guys. But only 1 drone on that one. But look at the distraction this creates. MARU here, with such a minimal amount of investment, gets mining time on 3 separate bases. He's hiding these Widow Mines. He's running them around, running them in, running them out, running them in. He's being as annoying as he possibly can. Finally, that medevac goes down. The Spine Crawler clears up the Widow Mine in the 3rd. This Widow Mine goes down. But he got 7 drones, massive mining time, and now he's up on the workers. Now, this build order is disgustingly greedy. Now, what do I mean? I mean, if SERRAL doesn't drone here, which he is droning, and holds down the Ling Bane key, he can kill MARU. MARU has very few units at home. That is how this build order works. But if you let MARU pin you back with this harassment, he's going to explode economically. He's already going up to 8 barracks. He's going to add a whole... Actually, that's 5 barracks. Sorry, never mind. Your barracks are very late with this build order. And he does pick up a bunch of units, but he's going to go for a 4th command center in the near future as well. And if he gets up to that ladder game stage and just keeps harassing you with these Widow Mine drops, you're going to be in trouble. So going up to 5 barracks, 1-1 upgrades finishing. He'll start 2-2 immediately. 4th command center starts. Banelings roll in. And not bad. Hitting the Widow Mines would be good, but not the best micro from SERRAL. If you guys do go down, guys. Another Widow Mine drop went in. 6 drones in the main fall. And another 3 drones in the natural. Another Widow Mine there. You can see how annoying these Widow Mine drops are. Another 13 workers in total go down. He's picking off Queens on the south, but a Ling run by comes in behind the Banelings. Not enough. He does get some SCVs. 14 SCVs versus 13 drones. MARU's keeping him busy right now. And remember, equal workers, very good for Terran. Terran up 7 workers. Fantastic for Terran. MARU, he's finding exactly what he wants in this game. SERRAL, he's got good creep spread on the north. His south side, though, this is the area where you really want to get creep up to here, because if the Terran can set up on this angle, up here, it gets very awkward to defend your territory. Infestation Pit's on the way. Hydra tech is on the way. Hydra Bane recently coming back into the meta for Zerg versus Terran. But if the Terran's very good at positioning their siege tanks and making you fight off creep, Hydra Bane does not look that good. On creep with flanks, it's an amazing army, though. It can just defend very well, but attacking off creep is kind of awkward now. You can see the worker count sucks for SERRAL right now, guys. 64 drones. He's staying heavy on units. SERRAL looks his best when he shuts down his opponent's momentum, doesn't let them get any of that damage, and picks them off that way. But so far, MARU's found the mark, and he's going to split off 2 Widow Mine drops at once. He's going to fly right over these Banelings. You could drop Widow Mines into that just to let the Banelings blow up on it. Obviously, 3 Banelings per Widow Mine, not a great trade for the Zerg. Hydras will stop that Widow Mine drop, which is very important. And remember, the Spore and the Spine, plus all the Queens, should be able to defend this Widow Mine drop. He should be able to shoot this one down. Yeah, he's defended the double drop in the bottom. The Widow Mine drop ended up just pulling back and dropping these as defenders. 4th Command Center is moving out. Queens are going to shut this one down. And Maru, finally, one of his Widow Mine drops, not finding the mark. SERRAL gets the first win that he really needed, momentum-wise, in this series. Resets his mining, takes his 5th, his creep spreading like mad. Oh, my lord! 28 Zerglings! Ow! At least none of those were Banelings, but ow, 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 ow! Youchie, youchie, youchie. Now, overall, units lost tab is actually great for SERRAL. If it's even, it's SERRAL. Normally, that means the Zerg's winning really hard. Now, this is a different story because, remember, there was a lot of lost mining time, which doesn't show up in the units lost tab, number 1. Number 2, Maru's had more SCVs for most of this game. So this is very fine for Maru in this scenario, as he builds lots of Widow Mines to deal with the Ling Bane. He also has a spready of tanks, 4 tanks across his bases to deal with the Hydras. Changelings coming in, getting blasted down, not able to get the vision. He's got a nice triple drop in the north. SERRAL's whole army was balled up in the bottom. SERRAL chucking a bit of a noob move there, but he will get back in time. That creep spread giving him ample warning. And oh! 3 hit point medevac gets out of there. Ooh. Okay, we got the lurker down on the way. Oh, that Hydra's like, get back here, dickhead. Come on. No, not able to get it. Vikings in the top. That's cute. Okay, he's going to send some Hydras there. Oh, not picking up on the bottom. Maru. Maru's being pushed to late game. Okay, so this is interesting because we say Maru has the best late game in the world, right? For Terran. He's so good at switching gears and turtling up. And this is a kind of small map where a turtle scenario, I think, should favor Terran. On the other hand, the bases are spread so much and there's enough wide open areas, maybe no. It's just normally, if the map's really big, because when you turtle up as Terran and play late game, you kind of give up mobility. Does that matter on this map? Because you don't need to push very far to get in range of the Zerg, and the Zerg doesn't have extra bases they can steal off you, right? A lot of these other maps, you're like, oh, you're turtling up, I'll take a base here. I'll take a base here. This map doesn't have those bases. It's only 6 bases on each side. So there's no, oh, I'm going to steal your bases. There is a very limited amount of money on this map. And that's part of why SERRAL's dropping a Nidus run, because he feels like, oh, I need to do some shit. I need to try and Nidus in the back door, maybe Blinding Cloud the tanks and rush in the front. Mass command centers going down. Because Maru, everyone keeps hating on me. All the noob Terrans are like, Pig, the Iron Bank's not that important. You gave this dumb name to mass orbital command centers and you always go on about it. Guys, who's the best macro player in the world? Who's the best late game turtle? It's Maru. What's the first thing he does when he starts playing late game? He doesn't build 6 starports and 3 armories and 7 ghost academies like some of the donkey Terrans out there. He builds like 7 extra command centers, makes almost all of them into orbitals, and then he fucking slays in the late game because he has unlimited scans and mules. And there's the Iron Bank's not that important. Guys, don't take it from me. I know some of you are baboons who are like, you're not high enough level. Okay, look, do what Maru does. Do what best Terran in the world does. Okay, now do you believe me? Every single time, guys. Now, obviously, he'll build some reinforcing planetaries as well. But seriously, he is the Terran who's so quick. When he's saying, I'm playing late game, he knows he's not going to kill you with his first 6 ghosts pushing across the map. He's going to have to eke it out. He's going to have to slowly expand across this map. So this will be a planetary. I think this might be a planetary. He just canceled an orbital there. Yeah. And then he builds a planetary. This one makes perfect sense. So he started an orbital. And he's like, actually, I really need reinforcement because this is such a big open area. So he's going to put a planetary, a few Widow Mines, tanks behind it, turrets there. And why are the turrets so far in front? The turrets and the mines are going to guard the siege tanks from the Vipers. Hold that thought. Nidus in the main! Unfortunately, there was a tank right next to it. So it does go down. And the Nidus not going to find anything. SERRAL is going to have to play Broodlords, and he doesn't want to. He's going to go for a bust. Whoa, he's diving on the top. A lot of Maru's army is on the south, and he doesn't have a lot of tank mine up here. Great spready on the parasitic bomb. The Banelings coming in. The tanks weren't sieged for a moment there. Oh, those Banelings are going to get hammered, man. I feel like he should have maybe just clicked on the orbitals. He gets some of the SCVs, some of the Marines. He sets some things on fire, but units lost for units lost. Obviously, a good trade for the Terran, who he gets his planetary up in the top. Maru does secure that. And at this point, SERRAL's like, fuck this shit, man. I honestly think SERRAL's mindset here is, I'm not going to go to super late game. There's not enough bases on this map for me to play Broodlords. I'm going to kill you right now with Hydroling Bane Viper. If this doesn't work, I'm basically dead. He's trying to just overwhelm. He does have more bank right now, but he's got to bust this base. He cannot let Maru hold this base. SERRAL, he branches in on the top. He's trying to get Maru to take the bait. Oh, this is a bad fight for SERRAL. Do not go down that ramp. Oh, Blinding Cloud. Okay, Blinding Cloud does help out a bit. Baneling's blowing up on tanks, not the greatest, but my God, the numbers are there, aren't they? My God, the numbers are there. He does take out a lot of units. He clears out the base on the top. Maru there, I think, taking some inspiration from Su. And he says, you know what, guys? Su, over the history of StarCraft 2, has been one of the most successful Zergs, right? More grand finals than anybody else, even though most of them were second places. He did eventually win that Katowice, right? And what did Su show better than anyone? He said, if I have more things than you, especially Banelings, and make 100 of them, I can shove them down a ramp into a choke point in what looks like a bad fight. But if I trade with you right now and deny your base, Mr. Terran player, and I keep mining off more bases, you're going to lose the game. And Su taught us how to take a terrible angle on a fight at the correct time. I think better than any other Zerg out there, where he's like, it might not look clean, but right now, if I trade with you and I also deny a base, like, yeah, it's not going to look clean in the units lost tab necessarily, but I got rid of the base, I got rid of the SCVs. And if I can keep denying that base, you lose this game. Guess what? He scans the creep. He doesn't realize there's a single Zergling up there that's burrowed. And look at that. The Zergling's like, hey, we'll pick off that bio. 3 kills. Awesome. Maru right now, he's invested in those orbitals. But remember, I talked about it should be good for late game Terran to turtle up on this map. One problem, big wide open areas and very spread corner bases. And that's exactly what he's struggling with right now. If SERRAL was going Hive Tech, I think he'd be okay, but he's actually getting his Liberators abducted. The Widow Mines do take out the front line of Ling Bane. There's a lot more Ling Bane behind that. These tanks are doing the Terran Lord's work right now. Praise Arcturus himself, the God Emperor. Unfortunately, though, there is more Zerg than your weird, creepy Emperor Dictator religion can help for you, I think, right now. As SERRAL's just overwhelming with these beautiful giant Hydra Ling Bane spreadies. He's spreading his front Ling Bane against the Widow Mines. He's also blinding clouding units, and he's just using superior numbers. And it feels like somehow the units lost tab is so close. How? Well, I think it's the whole thing is that there's still so much investment in Widow Mines and tanks down there. And now Maru, I mean, he's got equal army supply, but it feels like, I don't know, maybe he needs to have like an extra tank up here and here or something like that, or some more buildings. If he gets this planetary up, I guess he can now finally secure it. The units lost tab has been surprisingly good for SERRAL, who's showing that Ling Bane Hydra can take great engagements. Ooh, EMP blocks the Vipers. He only gets 1 Blinding Cloud down, and Maru goes from getting worn down to finally taking the perfect fight. Double EMP on the Vipers, only 1 Blinding Cloud hitting 1 tank. He repairs the planetary out of the burning. And that fight there, that was the fight that Maru was looking for. Gets a few thousand resources more efficiency, keeps his base. And remember, guys, SERRAL cannot trade less efficiently or he will lose this game. There is no room for that equation to change unless he mines this base in the corner. And he's only just now getting it up. And please, SERRAL, oh, we're sending a lot of drones here. Guys, you guys always hear me complain about this, how people take corner bases and they're like, I got the corner base, and they don't saturate it, so it's completely pointless. Unfortunately for him, oh, wait, he's got Ling Bane defending. Maru comes down. At least Maru knows about it. So Maru, if he wants, he could like put a tank or 2 up here, and then he can just branch down here with Bio and keep baiting SERRAL into bad fights. Mr. Marauder, Mr. Siege Tank in the main will try and block these Nidus Worms. SERRAL's just trying to keep him busy with those. He's like, yeah, maybe you make a mistake. Oh, big attack on the south. He's going to try and clear this planetary out. No, he decides, no. That tank planetary plus choke point, a little too scary right now. And the units lost getting very bad for SERRAL. SERRAL's getting naughty. He's getting naughty right now in terms of his trades. But like I said, guys, 2 tanks there. And you just drop like a squad here and you just keep baiting him in. I mean, obviously, SERRAL's very good at splitting Vipers and abducting, which is, maybe that's why his Vipers are still down here. Maybe he's forgotten them. I'm not sure what they're doing hanging out there. But yeah, there we go. Maru knows. He's like, I know exactly what to do. He's like, I'll let you even mine that base, because trading down here is so bad for the Zerg, because he even got the ghosts on the high ground with snipe and EMP ready. Oh, SERRAL baited into the Marauders and the tanks and the ghosts on the high ground. SERRAL, I don't know if this works. Wait, abduct. Oh, he gets 1 medevac. Oh, I don't know. Okay, yeah, abducting the medevac seems like a cute idea, but that unit's lost tab. Maru's now turning this into his game. He's like, I can siege your base without leaving my base. This is sick. As a Terran player, you are very excited to be in this situation. 1 tank and 1 ghost do get abducted, but the Vipers copped an EMP, and they are both empty on energy. They're going to try and suck that energy back out. SERRAL saying, hey, if I get this base, maybe I can do it. The problem I see here is that if MARU keeps reinforcing and taking these trades here, I don't think that the terrible trades he's going to take defending this base will be worth the base. Unless this kind of distracts MARU and he's able to do something somewhere else at the same time, but like, cancelled hatch, bunch of Zergans go down. Hatch almost gets cancelled, tank's firing, one more time. You just see how kind of gross this is for SERRAL. But what do you do with SERRAL? Well, unless you can beat him with a Broodlord late game comp, which apparently SERRAL doesn't have much faith in, it's going to be really hard. Ghost comes in. Overseer's like, oi, what the shit, bro? Lurkers are like, hey, how about some spikes up inside you, mate? Get some spikes inside you, mate. They're rich in vitamins and nutrients. Put them inside you, mate. The Ghost, of course, does get torn in half. The Lurker's there prodding his corpse, going, how did that feel? How did that feel, mate? For those who don't know, pretty much every Zerg unit is a bogan with a very sick sense of humor. The Lurkers are going to throw some spines over there. Oh, double snipey, triple snipey, quadruple snipey, Mr. Lurker do go downy. For those who don't know, Lurkers can break the Ghost snipes, but the snipes, they can kind of run in between the Lurker waves and do okay. Just abducting some units, picking off some guys. SERRAL's going to try to hang on, but I really feel this map can be pretty scary for Terran with some of the big attacks that can swing in earlier in the game. I think once you get to this stage, it's kind of hard, man, because it's kind of hard for the Zerg to make it work. Fusion Core's on the way. Now, I'd love to see battle cruisers, because that's super sick, especially like in this scenario where there's not really much that shoots up other than Hydras. It's MARU though, guys. Remember, MARU is the Ghost Liberator King. He will go for, of course, the extended thermal. It's the advanced ballistics, that's what it's called. Liberator Viagra, okay? The non-Colossus Viagra. You guys know what I'm talking about. It adds a bunch of range on the Liberator. And yeah, we're going to see Infesta Broodlord transition, but this is like, you can tell SERRAL doesn't want to do this. He's like, I guess I have to. And you know he's like angry right now. His face is scrunched up a little bit. He's like, I don't want to play fucking Broodlord Infesta on this stupid tiny map. There's no bases to take. He's got enough bank. Absolutely, SERRAL can still win this game. He gets a command center. That's 400 minerals. Little things like that. Bam. Very good for him. MARU is going to creep planetaries forwards right now. Creep his tanks forward. Creep his libs, his bio, his ghosts. He's got a Thor there. Tank does siege in range of those Lurkers. That tank going to start to sieging down. He's going to use some zoning nukes, is MARU. As he has ship weapons. Lingbane Hydra says, let's go! The Banelings rolling into the Marauders. The Lurkers jumping on top of those southern tanks. That tank on the left, though, is out of vision right now. Maybe barely out of range. Tanks are kind of getting overwhelmed a little bit. More tanks running in from the top. Those would actually be some juicy kills right now for Mr. SERRAL. And snipey snipe. Oh, no. His queens do get sniped down there. Right in the butt. The buttocks, the weak spot of the queen. For those who don't know, Neuroparasite is on the way for SERRAL right now. Okay. So this is an interesting match at this point because SERRAL is trading quite a bit worse, but it's not unheard of in this matchup. He's got so much more bank. And MARU's still kind of vulnerable. And MARU still wants to exert pressure by trying to get out to this corner base and deny it. And SERRAL's mining it right now. He's mining it fully, guys. Oh, he goes for the attack. The Mad Lad. The Mad Lad goes for the attack. He pulls the ghost back. He hot picks up the tank. MARU with some sick micro pulls behind the double planetary. His third planetary has to cancel, lift off. But yes, SERRAL's actually holding this base. And now I'm looking at the units lost and I'm going, hey, dude, you're mining a lot in that bottom corner. This base mines about 600 minerals and 250 gas, I think, roughly. Maybe 270, 280 gas a minute, something like that. You guys can correct me on the numbers in the comments and the chat, something like that for a fully saturated base. So he's going to be mining about that per minute. And that means, you know, you're going to make him pay for this, MARU. He's mining your resources because the top right's going to fully mine out for SERRAL. If he can mine out the bottom left as well, yeah, these bad trades for him ain't necessarily so... Oh, Vipers! Ouchie! He does abduct two Liberators. That yanks him out of siege mode. The Lurkers run forward on the bottom left. A few of them die, but then the Lingbane Hydra rolls forward. These engagements seem so bloody insane. I don't know how any Zerg player confidently takes those fights. And yet, like, look at the production, look at the supply. Like, it's actually okay. He's maintaining the same units lost tab. Like, it's not the same gap. It's been 6,000 difference over the last few fights. Like, he's killing enough planetaries, command centers, ghost tanks, libs, the abducts. SERRAL is finding a way to make this Lingbane Hydra with now a few Lurkers out of it. It's looking like a composition that can scale to the late game. just through his control and how he's taking these fights. And MARU, I don't know what he can do differently here, but his ghosts are kind of, maybe they need to be pre-spread better. They're spending too much time running. Oh, a bunch of lurkers do get nuked in the bottom left there. Oh my god, so SERRAL does cop a nuke to the face, but god damn, he cannot get rid of this planetary. It's got 78 kills. The one behind it has 21 kills. The tanks behind it, 31 kills, 5 kills, 41 kills, 61 kills on that siege tank. That siege tank on the left. Oh my god, guys, it's Sergeant Chadhammer himself. Oh my lord. Sergeant Chadhammer is over there on that high ground. 61. I still can't. We're going to keep Sergeant Chadhammer clicked as much as possible to see if Sergeant Chadhammer survives this game. And oh my god, the Lingbane Hydra desperately trying to defend this base, but SERRAL, he did take some bad trades there, guys. He's now down about 8,000, so about 2,000 more deficit there against MARU, who does snipe the hatchery. The Marauder Bang Bang squad there as Sergeant Chadhammer gets his 71st kill. Damn. SERRAL's got good map control, but I guess right now. So the question I have, oh, you know what, guys? MARU's losing partially because of the Iron Bank, right? Oh no. Oh no. I'm like, why has MARU got so much less money? Because he spent all of his money on command centers. He's traded better. SERRAL's only mined half the base more, but MARU's so broke because he spent all his minerals on command centers. And SERRAL's just traded well enough with him. In these big, wide open areas, these giant flanking engagements on this map, Sergeant Chadhammer, 78 kills, is doing well. It doesn't matter. SERRAL's mined too much. Honestly, the Iron Bank, apparently, if the Zergs are able to trade anywhere near efficiently with you in this sort of scenario, kind of bad. What was he missing? I think, honestly, I think MARU's needed more Widow Mines, and he's needed to target fire his front Widow Mines. Because it's been the Lingbane has just been running in too aggressive, and maybe he needed a few more ghosts to be pre-split and just standing their ground. It feels like every fight that's happened, MARU's Widow Mines early on haven't done that much, and then he stopped building Widow Mines. And I think it's partially because he was just kind of not having enough anti-Zergling up front, maybe. Maybe he needed to retarget the Widow Mines, maybe he needed ghosts and bio to stand their ground rather than running backwards, which is a scary proposition, but if they're pre-spread, you could do that. I mean, he's doing some damage right now. He's trying to steal minerals off this base with mules. He's trying to make the Iron Bank pay for itself. Guys, welcome to Desperation Town. MARU's there, and he's about to go to Dicktown as SERRAL comes in with a nice 270 surround. A little slow to siege the lurkers on these tanks, but when he finally does it, yoinks the Vipers. My lord, that is a big army. Ghosts trying to snipe down, but MARU just gets overwhelmed. And guys, small map where it's hard to take bases, and the Terran could push you in no time, should be good for Terran. But SERRAL has just shown us in this match, apparently big wide open areas for flanks, that is more than enough for Zerg to do it. So big wide open areas for flanks, at least if you engage as well as SERRAL, apparently is worth more. And he's happy to pay for the short rush distance and everything else. SERRAL, though, is a freak, and he is one of the few players who actually wins on such a tiny map. GG, well played. SERRAL takes map 1 in this best of... All right, let's go into game 2, fam. Down in the bottom left side in the red, a nice game 1 victory for SERRAL, representing ENCE Esports. His opponent in the top right, it's MARU for Envy. So I said in that last game, SERRAL's not going to be able to take the corner base. It won't be worth it. MARU will put tanks on the edge and make him pay for it. Now, I actually think, guys, MARU, if we think about it, made a mistake by moving out of the choke point with his tanks and planetaries and libs. I think when he was dropping and just sniping the base repeatedly with tanks on the high ground, ghosts on the high ground, he was getting insane efficiency, right? That's where Sergeant Chadhammer came from in that last game. So I think maybe if MARU just let SERRAL, not let SERRAL take it, but just kind of stayed in a very defensive stance, he might have been okay. Because once he finally got his defenses up in the top with the planetary, remember, SERRAL took a fight there and it was really bad, but what happened was he kind of moved out of the choke point into this area where SERRAL could attack from the southern ramp. He could have that big angle from the bottom and from the right. And it was the Lingbane Hydra was coming in on such a big spread, and the abducts were so accessible, especially with the watchtower of SERRAL giving him vision of everything. So I think maybe MARU, what he needed to do there was just say, don't move out of that, and just tax him for that base. And then once he's overextended into a bit, yeah, you can try to move down there, but you kind of, when you move down, I think MARU needs to take the bottom. He needs to actually spread right down to the bottom as well, because he was kind of moving forward and he was getting caught in this one like exposed lump at the front. And when the Ling Bane came in this giant arc, he had to run backwards behind his planetaries. And the moment you're running back rather than fighting with most of your army, you are losing very badly as Terran. Because then the Ling Bane Hydra is getting on top of the tanks. They're able to get on top with Vipers abducting because you're not able to stand your ground and then EMP those Vipers. You're not gunning down the front-running Zerglings. What does gunning down the front-running Zerglings do? For those who don't understand, basically Widow Mines are usually at the front, right? And they're going to track onto the first unit that comes in range. Now, if that Zergling doesn't get shot down, the Widow Mine will just waste its shot on that front-running Zergling. And it'll hit like 4 Zerglings per Widow Mine, something like that. But if you've got enough units gunning them down, the Widow Mine keeps reacquiring targets. And very regularly, they end up targeting a big clump of Speedbanes or Hydras, the more valuable units, or into a bigger clump of Ling Bane coming in. And they actually get way more effective shots. So I think that's something to consider here is like, hey, maybe that's actually something, you know, looking at the positional setups for MARU, maybe he messed that up a little bit. I'm still absolutely amazed that SERRAL was able to break through so many entrenched positions the way he did. Beautiful Viper usage and beautiful abducts and everything like that. Felt like the Ghosts weren't able to get their value #1, and it also felt like on such a small map with so limited bases and each base being so hard to secure, the Iron Bank was not able to pay for itself. If MARU was able to very carefully crawl down to that bottom left base, maybe he could have got it. Maybe it would have been worth it, but on such a small map, we did not see it scaling well enough at all. I mean, he tried to turtle it up, and I gotta say, that's one of those games where you look at it and you're like, everything I did should have won me the game. Like, I defended, my opponent attacked with mostly tier 2 units with a few spellcasters. Like, I should have been able to win that. And that's where StarCraft becomes all about the tiny details. You gotta look at the exact angles of how those fights happened, how to limit those angles, maybe a few more buildings thrown down, like engineering bays, just to funnel the opponent can make a massive difference. Sometimes people will like even float out barracks that they're not using anymore and just like land them. And just create little semi-walls everywhere. There's a lot of different things you can do. So definitely some nice moves that MARU could have done to tighten things up. But just shows you the attention to detail that SERRAL had with dismantling. And now, guys, this is a very quick third command center into Viking. So this is very light Hellion pressure. It's not very early. SERRAL took a third base before Ling Speed. You can see his Ling Speed's only kicking in now just at the 4-minute mark. But no Overlord on the right just yet. Oh, but look at that. He's like, well, I don't see the Hellions. They must be over here. 3 queens building at a time. He is back on gas is SERRAL. So SERRAL here doing a just classic rule of 1 gas build order. So with this build order, guys, you put back on gas about 330. And then other than that, you saturate all 3 mineral lines fully before taking any other gases. Now, SERRAL, I wonder if he's doing kind of the Raynor style at the moment, where he's really keen on double Evo before Bane Nest and Lair. Because if he does, he's going to be pretty screwed against what MARU is doing. MARU going concussive and a medevac. That's right. So the Viking has already gone out and killed the spotting overlord, which means SERRAL has no vision, and he's going to go for 2 marauders, put them in this medevac. They've got concussive, so they will slow down queens and tag them. And it's a giant marauder hellbat timing. MARU, where's your medevac? Buddy. Oh, okay, he wants the marine as well. Okay, there we go. He's going to attack from the bottom right. A bit of a surprising angle. That's odd. Okay. Oh, he's just poking with this. Okay, he's just trying to keep SERRAL uncomfortable. He's like, oh, look at me, I'm poking. Yeah, notice he's preserved all the hit points on his Hellions. 8 Hellions are going to turn into Hellbats. He's going to have a wall off behind this. SERRAL, guys, he's gone the double Evo style that I was talking about. Double Evo is the worst against a Hellbat timing, and this is the strongest Hellbat timing that there is. So this is going to be nasty. Now, SERRAL does see it in time to get his units together. Every queen is down here. He's got a spread. SERRAL's a little clumped right now. Oh, the armory's not ready yet. Oh, MARU messed up his armory timing, but a good pullback. His Viking's taking a lot of damage. There's so many queens, though. 9 queens and 3 more building. Yep, so SERRAL's saying, look, if I've got to defend this without a Bane Nest or a Roach Warren, I need to have an ungodly number of queens. He almost kills a Marauder, but the medevac will heal that. He does need more Zerglings building here. Pull back SERRAL. Oh, SERRAL going off creep is a bit dicey there. No, he's too clumped now versus the Hellbats. SERRAL got a bit of a boner there, trying to force the fight. But wait, the Ling flank comes in, threatens the surround of the Marauders, and MARU's forced back. So you know what? He only loses 1 queen. I'm like, oh, SERRAL got ahead of himself. No, perfect fight by SERRAL. SERRAL shuts it down. He's got a 4th on the way. He's droning. His 1/1 upgrades are here. They're on the way. His Lair's on the way. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is... I said this is the strongest Hellbat time. It's not the strongest. It's the strongest off 3 command centers. If he did this off 2 command centers, he definitely might have just killed SERRAL with this opening, or at least done a lot more damage. He would have killed a lot of queens. It would have been a bit of a nasty trade. Because he did this off the quick 3rd command center, it's not as much of a, oh, I'm dead because I didn't do damage. Because notice, he only lost 3 Hellbats and a Viking, and he forced a shit ton of queens, right? SERRAL does not want to be building 11 queens as standard in his game plan. But he's got macro hatch. He's droning his 4th for 11 workers, because he's like, well, you're not going to have a good follow-up attack timing for a while. That being said, he does need to make sure he starts baneling speed the moment this finishes. And since he's gone 5 gases, I'm pretty sure he's playing Hydras, guys. So I think we're going to see Ling Bane for a little while. He's going to go very quick 2-2 upgrades as that'll line up. Baneling speed does start up. This looks pretty good for SERRAL, honestly. Already having 13 workers on the 4th base. They're all kind of rallying out there right now. Some of them going to do a long-distance mining trip like dummies before they do start realizing the hatchery is ready. Yeah, this is amazing creep spread, great control. I would not feel good if I was in Maru's shoes, but he's a very efficient player. He's very wily. He's good at surviving. He knows when to commit, when to pull back. It's the real thing that makes a great Terran player better than a good Terran player. Widowmine drop on the right, Hellions on the left. The Hellions zoning, distracting. The drop does get spotted. Does SERRAL notice it? We're on SERRAL's camera. SERRAL has not noticed it. I don't think he's noticed it, guys. He's splitting his army. Come on, mate. Come on, SERRAL is not watching right now, guys. SERRAL, he's focused on his Baneling run by... Oh, SERRAL is tunnel visioning on the least important thing right now. I mean, that's cool. You blew up a depot, but dude, your base, you're about to lose so many drones. SERRAL! SERRAL only now! That was in his vision for so long. That is uncharacteristic for SERRAL to miss that for that long. That is wild. That is a very un-SERRAL reaction there, guys. Let's go back to everyone's camera. 11 drones. He's lucky that wasn't worse. There is a Widowmine that got dropped to block the 5th base for later as well. And we'll clean up these Widowmines. Oh, no. No, he won't. He got distracted. Those Widowmines are going to kill a lot more drones. Oh, SERRAL. SERRAL was in a great position, but now Hellions find the Lings without the Banelings even finished morphing on the right. Oh, he does roll 2 Banes in. That was a nice spready. Does lose 3 more drones. Could have been worse down here. Okay. Doesn't end up being the end of the world. I like the split of random Banelings into the Hellions. He's hoping to catch Maru on a move command there. Just get 1 Baneling in without stacking up his units to take massive Hellion or Hellbat splash. Maru, though, now is in multi-prong town, and he's actually up in supply after what looked like a shaky start. He's on the right side, clearing the creep. His armies are small, but they are elite, and they are executing very well. A massive Zergling army up here. Queens not doing any damage from the low ground. The Spore Crawler's going to help out there. Oh, the Ledge of Fucktown. Oh no, Maru's gone to the Ledge of Fucktown. He snipes the hatch on the right and then just quickly darts away with his tiny army. But he's on the ledge. These guys are so annoying to deal with up there. And look at that. They're just going to be like, nah, 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 nah. Thankfully, the Hydras are out. If these Hydras weren't here, Queens would take so long to clear this up. But Hydras can hit it from the high ground. And of course, they do have the same range as the Marines, but the Marines don't have high ground vision right now. Oh, he bounces a drone into the Marines. Chad Gamer Maru. But SERRAL just pulled his Hydras out of there. SERRAL, okay, finally he's going to clean this up. Widowmines are over there as well. But look at this, I feel like at this point, Maru's got map control. And he's like, lol, got a 4th base fully saturated, 5th base on the way. And he's done massive pressure with small sections of units without overcommitting. And now he's really put a dent in SERRAL's map control. SERRAL has stalled out a little bit in this regard. SERRAL's 2-2's about to kick in. He's about to have a double upgrade advantage for the next 30 seconds of this game. Will it matter? Will it make a difference? Right now, it feels like there's no big hiccups for him to get, because look at that. Whenever Maru gets in trouble, he's like, nah, peace out, brother. Just kind of gets out of there, man. The tank siege is up over there as well. That Widowmines do get taken down. Tank, though, just being in an annoying position. Maru here is playing, I will be annoying. That's his game plan. I'm annoying you. I'm annoying. I'm annoying. There's nothing defending that tank. 10 Zerglings could kill that right now. SERRAL doesn't know that, though. SERRAL doesn't have the vision. He's kind of getting bullied a little bit. And Maru really just showing his expertise, being a pain in the ass. And this is all occupying SERRAL. It's keeping him busy. His hive's finished. He hasn't noticed it. Oh, doesn't matter what the pressure is, he always notices.
Thank you for providing us quality content since ages. Smile.
Oh, thank you very much, Fabman. Hope you're having a fabby good time. That sounds kind of weird. Anyways, Ling Bane is going to run in. I'm going to give you another thank you in a bit. Thank you very much for the love, guys. Really appreciate the support, those watching live. Biomine is going to get some hits off on the Ling Bane. Ling Bane Hydra comes in. And I think the drop on the left side got cleaned up. Well, this army gets routed. I say routed, but the Widowmines get some nasty hits on the Zerg, even though they friendly fired at the same time. A drop on the left did go down. But, and SERRAL does kind of defend that with these 3 queens on the edge. You can see a few of them have kills. I think that one of those is a medevac kill. And SERRAL, he's got his 5th base up here as well. It's going to go lurkers behind this. 3-3, though, is already on the way for Terran, whereas it's +1 range, +3 carapace for SERRAL, swapping over to more of a ranged unit focus. Maru's going to take a 5th base. He's getting 3 more barracks. So he's going to go 11 barracks? He's like, fuck building orbitals. It didn't work last game. I'm going to go 11 barracks this game. My God, 11. 11 barracks. He's got 87 workers, so that's a crazy worker count. He kind of needs it. Maru channeling his inner TY right now, going for a few more SCVs than we're used to seeing from Terran players these days. And those Marauders just trying to get back using the cover of the Widow Mines. Marauders don't have good damage against all these light units, but they're just tanky, and that allows the Widow Mines to get big shots when the enemy clumps up on them. So it's a very heavy Marauder composition right now. Not many Widow Mines in the spread. SERRAL looks for the engage. SERRAL might just be getting overwhelmed right now. He's got to crush this army, but look, he's running back and forwards. He's kind of like indecisive. He's trying to find the right angle. He doesn't want to take the bad fight. He's setting up a big arc. Ooh, Viper takes a Widow Mine to the face, takes it like a champ. Standing there, just jaw open, blood dripping out of its maw. And he's going to go for it. Big attack coming in from the bottom and the left side at the same time. That layer of Widow Mines behind, though. Boom, boom. Decent hits, not amazing. SERRAL should be able to break this position, but he's not sure right now. Where are his overseers? He's got none. Where? SERRAL has not made any. SERRAL, he needs overseers. He's going to make one overseer right now. Lurkers should stall out this attack for the moment. There's no ghosts in it, but damn, man. Damn. Maru's large. He's in charge on Hardwire. Nidus Worm goes down. Doesn't really feel like I've seen Nidus be effective recently. Maru very good at shutting it down. It's a nice tool to have to make the Terran worry, but Terrans are so cautious. They've thrown way too many games versus Dark to ever die to that again, I think, and Raynor as well. Raynor and Dark have both made some pretty close, hard-fought games. Suddenly look one-sided with a cheeky Lurker Nidus into the Terran's production, so I think players like Maru very on the ball with that. Scans down here, clears up those creep tumors. Overseer going up towards the main. Do we have anything getting ready to load in the Nidus, though? I don't think so. I think he might try to just pop an empty Nidus, and then if it gets up, try to utilize it. Lurker's getting taken out by the bio. Lings come in. Okay, decent enough trade. Oh! 10 Zerglings do get taken out by that Widow Mine. Another Widow Mine on the left. Guys, you got to clear these Widow Mines out. They are a problem. The Overseer in the back will pop a Nidus Worm. Snipe on the Overseer, though, plus a few Marine shots. It does go down. Nidus Worm will go down pretty quickly as well. It has 3 armor, but these are plus 3 Marines and a Ghost. So they do plenty of damage there. Orbital's going to float back here. Maru thinking maybe, I think that's a misclick, I think is what that is. But yeah, okay, so Cloak's on the way for the Ghost. You got Lingbane Hydra. SERRAL survives because he's really hard to kill. He's like a bloody cat with 9 lives. Viper's coming in. Parasitic Bombs? No, gets EMP'd by those Ghosts. Very nicely done. And attacking around these terrain areas, around these corners, there's just these natural kill zones where your units clump up on the corners. Terran likes corners. They like ledges. They like choke points. They like spreading their units out, creating layers of bullshit. Zerg just wants a big open field. Zerg is the guy who's like, you friggin' pussies, come out and fight. They're outside the castle, just the bare-chested barbarian saying, you are fucking pussies, come and fight us in the open, man. And the other guy's like, yeah, we're gonna wait behind our castle walls. Come, let us pour some oil on your head, please. Some burning oil on your head. And, you know, Zerg's like, just come in the fucking open. Why are you such cowards? And Maru is a very wise coward. Let's be real, guys. He's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna set up great positions, lure you into fighting in them. I'm gonna dig a big ditch and lure your army into it, and it's gonna be really nasty for you. Watch out. Oh no. Oh. Zerg trauma. Nidus Worm in the main base. It's got units loaded in it. That's what that little white thing means, guys. He's gonna get the Lurker Nidus. Oh no, Maru. Oh no. So much can go down so quickly. If he can land the snipes, though, without getting hit by the Lurker Spines, let's see how well he does it. Easiest cleanup of his life. Maru's a god. I would have lost every unit there. Maru loses like 3 Marauders, shuts it down, but he pulls this whole army out of position out for it, so it doesn't. Oh, fudge. Oh, that's painful. An orbital, a planetary goes down. He saves a bunch of SCVs, so hats off to him for that. A few Lings run in the left. No planetary up there. This could be a big problem for Maru right now as he loses control of some bases. A lurker has broken down the giant depot wall. Maru has so many command centers, though. He's nowhere near supply block. But this army, I think SERRAL maybe could have rotated up there and killed this base. He chose not to because he knew there'd be a lot of units coming after him. But Maru's ghosts do go and clean up that lurker on the right side. There's a Nidus there. Ling's running in on the left. He's going to get a few more SCVs. The Medevac's doing the Lord's work, healing up those non-combatants. Though to be fair, is an SCV really a non-combatant? I think a lot of Protoss players, especially in Heart of the Swarm, when the SCV pool was pretty much ubiquitous, would disagree with that. They'd be like, no, they aren't. They're just shit combat units. They've pulled across for aggression many times. Big Widow Mine hit does land there, but a bit of a chokey. Detonates some Banelings to take out those Widow Mines before they fire the Ghosts. The Ghosts! Some big boomy Banelings on the faces of those Ghosts, but a lot of them do survive at the same time. Ling's run in the right side. He evicts the Terran from this base, but Maru, pulling his SCVs away, doesn't take the catastrophic damage he could have. Remember that Maru's got a bit more bank than his opponent. He will lose a factory there, potentially. No, he keeps that alive, but the sensor tower goes down. The burrow forces the scan, and SERRAL trying to be annoying. Widow Mine say, hello, goodbye, and gets a few Marines and a Marauder before these last Zerglings disappear. Chunks of Zergling all over the shop. Where the hell does SERRAL mine from, though, guys? Check it out. This base, running dry. This base, running dry. This base is still pretty fresh, but it's also got half its patches running out in about 2 minutes. So he's definitely got a problem in terms of securing extra bases. Maru does not have that problem. Maru has lost a massive amount of workers this game, as has SERRAL, but Maru has so many commands in his SCVs, it doesn't matter. He pops it Infestor up for a big fungal from behind, but even with that beautiful move and the parasitic bomb, is it enough? Oh man, that's a pretty sick fight. One Infestor popped up, fungled all the important units. He killed a lot of Maru's army. Maru is a little gas starved right now. He's got to put dudes on gas on this base. He's got to replenish them on the right side. Down here as well, you can see all this aggression has kind of messed up his mineral gas balance. He's going to fix that up, and he is on the case. But I don't know if SERRAL has the money to really survive. He's got to defend this base on the right. Very important area for SERRAL to defend. He's got that as well. Bit of bio does kind of stray into the lurker fire. Sorry, I looked away because I thought Maru was going to turn around, and then he kept continuing. Ooh, lovely lurker. Lurker splashy there, forces the SCVs off. And nice pull by Maru, though. Maru, honestly, I feel like there's been so many moments where he could have lost 55, 60 SCVs, but he's always running his SCVs away. He's always doing it. And now we've got a lurker attack on the right. Widow Mine's going to do a big boom, take a bunch of hit points off them. Oh, he burrows, only gets hit by the splash. Nice reaction by SERRAL. Overseer on the right side as well. Another Nidus Worm pops up to potentially reinforce this position. He's got Vipers and a bunch of army on the left. No medevacs here. Maru's like, shit, get out of there, bro. We don't have medevacs. And then immediately turns around because he's a Chad gamer. Overseer does pop one more Nidus in the main. He's going to get a hatchery snipe. SERRAL cancels it. So at least he doesn't lose too much. And he'll kill a lot of this bio. Good trade for SERRAL, I'd say. Nidus Worm does go down, though. Units lost tab, but let's give it check-in. 5,000 resources in favor of Maru. And he's got a freshie. He's got a freshie. 2 fresh bases, a couple mineral patches there, He's doing fine for income. SERRAL's got this base up, which he actually needs to transfer workers to, because that... actually, you know what? He's actually doing okay. It looks like his bases are pretty well spread. He's only got a couple of idle workers. SERRAL, fantastic economy management as per usual. And Widowmine will get taken out by those lurkers. Just rotating, another lurker harassing the top left, being as annoying as it can. Bit of a stim to deal with that. Lurker's cleaning up some random Widow Mines. So you notice how Maru's trying to just pepper Widow Mines everywhere? He's like, look, I kept getting overrun because I didn't have enough Widow Mines. If I just put enough Widow Mines everywhere on the map, this will deal with what happened to me in game 1. And I think it's a good idea, but a lot of these Widow Mines are now getting sieged down by lurkers all over the place. A lurker up there as well, clearing things out. Oh, I really like the way SERRAL's playing this. He hasn't really let these Widow Mines find the big hits. Don't cast a curse it, Pig. Don't cast a curse it. Lurker's going to do some damage. He'll get a few shots off. Forces a stimmy as well. Big army there for Maru, though. I don't like this fight for SERRAL. He pulls back. Wise decision making as he evicts the factory and the command center from this base. Should be able to kill at least one of those. He's pulling back for now. The Vikings starting to work on those Vipers. And the Ghosts come forward as well. That Lurker will get a few more of these SCVs, but the Snipe pops it. And And Lurker's going to deny this base on the left side. Going to send another harassment Lurker up there. Remember, so many scans being used right now. Maru, I don't know how many orbitals he's got, but he could run out of scans. He's got 5 of them. These Lurkers are doing little chipping damage. Here, 4 SCVs here, 5 SCVs here. Look here, scan here, deal with this dickhead. Look, I unburrowed, ha, nah, my name's SERRAL. And Maru, I don't know if he can keep up with it. It's just so many things to handle because SERRAL's kind of got him reacting in so many spots at once. It feels like SERRAL's taken a nice momentum swing. He's being a real pain in the ass. Maru's finally going to try and deal with this bloody Lurker that's given him so many troubles. And it does go down on the left side. We've got some infestors coming forward, creepy infestors. Oh, they're looking for some big unburrow fungal ambushes. He's got another one up there as well. He's got to be careful he doesn't get scanned, man. That base on the left taking some damage. And Maru's going to try to bait him into, like, attacking into the Planetary Liberator and then around this corner into the other units. But look at that. He's starting to pick off Lurkers for free here. Especially if he drops a mule and repairs that sensor tower really quickly, which I don't think he will do. I think it will die. Another Lurker on the right. SERRAL is relentless, bro. He's relentless. These Lurkers so annoying. But Maru, he's got bank. He's maxed. Oh, Lurkers run forward on the left. Lingbane, Hydra Viper over there. Parasitic bombs on the air units. The Lingbanes forcing Maru to spread and pull back. Notice once again another fight where his ghosts are running rather than fighting. But the Lurkers, I don't think they're going to kill this in time. Oh, this is an overextension. Is it though? Yes, it is. He has to pull back. Loses a bunch of Overseers and Lurkers. That last fight, a nasty one for SERRAL. Well handled by Mr. Maru, who looks like that Infestor walked into vision. And now Maru knows there's burrowed Infestors kind of perving on him. So I think SERRAL should unburrow up here and try to kill SCVs. As silly as that sounds, he's on a timed life. These infestors will get caught otherwise. So it's time for the double unburrow. You've got 2 max energy infestors. Come on, SERRAL. Come on, make me more of a fanboy than I already am. Come on, Yona. You know you want to do it, buddy. Maru's like, what the fuck, bro? What are you doing here? It's my base. Moves his Liberator, but SERRAL notices, moves his infestor out of there. Looks like that Nidus Worm and Hatchery taken out on the right. A great snipe there from Maru. Bit of a flanky flank, maybe going to cut some of these units off. Of course, there's plenty of medevacs though. SERRAL's got to clear these libs and mines out of the center. I think the center area is what's making it hard for him to actually rotate right now. And Maru's very ready for this one. So unlike some of the previous moves where it's been a little bit dicier. Oh, look at that. Beautiful position for Maru behind the minerals, but it's a bit cramped. The Lurkers actually burrowing on his face. A great fungal ambush from behind on the Ghost, but he didn't actually seal the deal. The Marauders on the right. I don't even know what happens in a fight like that. There was so many things to process. An Infestor came up from behind and actually fungled his Ghost, but didn't seal the deal because the buildings kind of chunked him up. The Marauders behind the minerals on the right did a good bit. All we can do after a fight like that is consult the bloody units lost tab and say, what just happened? And we go, well, it keeps getting bigger. The gap, the gap keeps getting bigger. And unlike in certain scenarios where someone's saying, oh, it keeps getting bigger, sometimes it's a good thing. Units lost, not bigger. Your supply getting bigger, good. Upgrades getting bigger, good. Your units lost getting bigger, bad. Especially if your opponent's is not going up in correlation with that. So this is definitely an issue for SERRAL, who's now down about 9,000 resources in that units lost tab. He's got a lot of Lings and Lurkers right now. Now this is a very Raynor composition, right? The Ling Lurker. It's where you just grab your army and you kind of smush it on your opponent's face. No F's given, but this guy is causing way too many troubles. Yeah, he's got to keep control of this center. This Widowmine Liberator sensor tower that he keeps replacing is actually the secret to Maru's success in this game. Oh no, the Vipers get sniped, the Lings get gunned down. He's got Lings on the right, they cancel a command center, they get a few SCVs, but I don't think that's as important as him losing his army in the center. And SERRAL there just took a big loss. He's building more infestors. He's looking for those beautiful fungal boy ambushes. He wants to pop those ambush festers out of the ground and get those big burrows off. Now, I like that SERRAL's still clearing up the middle area, but I think he can do more than this. I do think he can do more. He's very low on banelings. There's no infestors. These ghosts are going to start to abuse that snipe range. This is a dangerous position, mate. Oh, this is a terrible fight. All the Hydras are getting popped. Oh no, it's a shooting gallery. Now he's got Lurkers behind the mineral lines. That's what SERRAL's doing well, but his frontal fights have started to flag a little bit. He's starting to run out of energy. He's panting. And he can't replace this army. They've been taken out. That one was even in range of the Planetary. A scan allowed the Planetary to clear it up. Maru drops another scan because he's like, where is it? Didn't realize the Planetary killed it. But look at this. Where is your mining? Right now, both sides not that high in the mining. But I mean, one round of mules and that changes pretty drastically. Another hatchery gets sniped. SERRAL's got his army on the right side. A big section of Lings. Liberators everywhere being giant pains in the arse though. And lots of infestors coming out, but how are you going to seal the deal here as SERRAL? I actually think he needs more Hydras. He's got nothing that shoots up, and the Libs are causing him trouble. So I think he went a bit too heavy on the Lurkers, and there's been a few fights where having a few more Hydras could have changed things. More abducts on the Libs as well, rather than parasitic bombs on the Medivacs. These are things that are needed, and they're not coming out right now. These sensor towers are so good for MARU as well. The way he's just spreading Widowmine, Lib, Bio across the map, spreading his sensor tower vision. This Karak has somehow not died to the splash damage despite being in the middle of a goddamn war zone. It's like, go MARU! Go MARU! No? When's it gonna, you're not gonna, it stopped squawking. Motherfucker. Yeah. Anyways, 4 more drones go down. Hatchery on the right, hatchery on the left goes down. Apologies for me French today, guys. Me French? Bad English, that's what I meant. Fromage! Yeah, we can, if we swear in other languages, is it kind of swearing? There's burrowed drones there for some reason. I think SERRAL's dead, guys. He's out of gas. MARU's just figuring out how to kind of push him out of this game. We're going to get a game 3, pretty much certainly, here, because MARU has been 15,000 resources more efficient. SERRAL's mining is pushed up against the wall. He's trying to do Nidus Worms defensively. Overseer's flying into turrets. It feels like SERRAL can't find a way forward on this map. And a nuke there is going to push him back. Gonna unsiege. You do need to pull the drones as well. Even the pervy boy. Oh, he even runs the spore crawler. And he's even queued it to move back and burrow. Very nice. Nidus pops, Nidus dies. Big eyeball on the side. Its little spiky tentacles giving a bit of a sad twitch there before it does go down. I think my Nidus Worm sound kind of sounded like a hungry cat in my experience, but I don't know, not much of a cat person, so I don't really know. What do we got, guys? We've got command centers coming in. MARU's like, I'm just going to close you out of this game. The Lurkers jump on the army on the left. SERRAL does the Chad Lurker engage, where you just shove 20 Lurkers on your face. So SERRAL's been studying the North American ladder. He's like, I've seen the way to win is you take 36 Lurkers and you try to burrow them on top of your opponent's army. And, you know, very elegant when you're playing noobs like me. I don't know if it's going to work versus MARU. Like I said, SERRAL's kind of out of gas at this point. He's got good spellcasters, but Ghost is such a good answer to them. He's looking for the burrow boy flanky flank. My man. One little burrowed pervert coming in. He's like, I catch you, dickhead. So the Lurkers, he's going to try and lure him in. And he's going to try and pop up and fungal him, which is, it's a great little idea. Come on, bring it in. I think he's saving it for the Ghosts, to be honest. The Lurkers are going to... Oh, he lines up the SCVs on that base. One of the Lurkers does get bounced, though. Focus fires on the Marauders. He's going to take this base. Oh, man, the Planetary is killing so many Lurkers, though. He lost like 4 Lurkers there, and now the Ghosts just walk in. How often do you see Ghosts kill a hatchery just on their own with their auto attack? Not that often, but it happened there, and the Lurkers are still sieging this. MARU's like, no worries, I can hold this off with SCVs and Liberators. He's just going to come on in, man. Very nice play by MARU to close this game out, guys. The Libs come in, has to unburrow and get out of there. 1 Lurker to harass. Down burrows that, or if it gets scanned, it does get shot off into the edge of the map, off into these little craggy grasses, little shaggy red grasses on the side of Hardwire. It looks a little bit like we're in an Oblivion Gate, right? It's not just me, right, guys? This map kind of looks like we're in an Oblivion Gate, yeah? Little red grass everywhere and the steam coming out of it. It's just some Terran and some Zerg. Accidentally walked into an Oblivion Gate and we found ourselves here. Some Liberators getting abducted. One last desperate ditch effort. He burrowed his Ling Bane! Oh no! SERRAL meant to burrow his Lurkers and he accidentally burrowed his Ling Bane. He gets some sick fungals. He's still got an Infester behind he could use as well. SERRAL's like, bring out my big boy maneuvers. I do think that was an accidental burrow, of course, on his Ling Bane. Just panicking a little bit. He's got some burrowed boys here, but they walk into turret range. And he's abducting Libs. 1 scan on the right. These 3 Infestors go down. The Rallying Hydra did fall. SERRAL's actually denying a base. I don't know how he's making this so close. He's still somehow got 110 army supply. Lurkers on the right, clear a planetary. That means he can harass that base as well. He's still got the Infestors, but they're not able to catch anything on their own. They're very exposed. The Lurker in the top gets caught by the Lib as long as he scans. But look at that, the Ghost! He ambushes with the Infestors! They're getting impeded, but he does big damage. Does he have the detection? He doesn't have enough. Oh, let's rewind that final ambush. SERRAL pulling off another big boy ambush maneuver. Check this one out, guys. The ghosts are like, hey, you want to fight, boy? And SERRAL's like, oh, do I? Triple Infestor, flanky, instant EMP though. And there's just not enough actual firepower to kill. Even with the detection of the Overseers, the ghosts just win with their auto attacks. MARU ties up the series 1-1. All right, straight back into it, guys. Game number 3 down here in the bottom left side. We've got...
Thanks for the Bezos bucks.
Sorry, guys, I won't give you a seizure. MARU. A little hyper today. Don't know. I think it's just I watch great Zerg vs Terran matches and I get excited. Of course, his problem in the top right, the Finnish phenom, SERRAL. SERRAL, though, had a great start last game. I really think he shut down the Hellbats. But I'm always impressed when a Terran has the ability to commit that hard to a Marauder Hellbat and then just be like, you have enough queens, and they just back off and they just lightly pressure and they preserve all those units and they make them so valuable later in the game. It really takes a very special level of expertise to know when to commit and when not to, as MARU is going to change it up. He's going to go CC first into 3 racks. Holy shizzle fizz, guys. MARU's doing CC first into 3 racks. Okay, this is going to be super cool. Super greedy. If your opponent 1-base Ravages, 12 pulls, there is a lot of builds that just kill you. People don't like to do those builds, and SERRAL especially almost never does those builds in this matchup. Big thank you, by the way, guys. Just a quick shout out to Who Call in the Fleet with 100 biddies, Robert Gallardi with the 6 months, as well as Why Marauder with the 15-month resub, Stamp with the 7 months. I really appreciate it, everyone who does watch live and shows some love there. Thank you very much for the support as well. If I miss anyone, I apologize, but thank you very much, guys. So this is... Well, maybe not 3 racks, guys. He's gone pretty quick gas, so we'll keep an eye on it. If he drops the second gas, then he's definitely not. For now, it is going to be a second barracks coming up here. So 2 barracks, you can build some Marines out of those. Oh, thank you for the gifted sub as well, mate. Appreciate the love. Thank you. Thank you. Who called in the fleet? Who called in the fleet, bro? SERRAL, as you can see, he's checking for proxy barracks. This Overlord is going to see, even if they come from the right, they come from the middle, anywhere, you will see those SCVs and Marines filter in. So this is the early warning Overlord is what this guy is. Well, this is the... let's see if I can see any proxy barracks Overlord. And it'll continue all the way down. And then it'll sacrifice into the main base to see what's up. So guys, looks like actually a 2 barracks opening for now. So straight into Reactor before building a single fighting unit. Oh my god. Guys, MARU's going to get his first fighting unit out on the map at like the 3-minute mark. This is actually insane. Like, SERRAL can walk across with his first 4 hatchery first Zerglings and like hang around for a little bit before Marines are on the map. Like, so late, yet this could be very effective. SERRAL does take a 3rd hatch, and the fact that he built 4 Zerglings unnecessarily right now, he's like, what's going on? Because he didn't send an Overlord to the pillar, he doesn't know about the command center first yet. And he might realize soon. And this is MARU doing CC first into 2-1-1. Sorry, guys. I forgot that MARU prefers the CC first into 2-1-1 build. Not as big of a fan of the Beyond Cure 3 racks build that they like. Oh, damn. Thank you, mate. Another gifted sub. What the hell, bro? Got some real generosity going on today, guys. Some very kind souls. We'll give you guys all special shout-outs, of course, after the series is over. Whoa! Spinny, spinny, spinny deathy. It's a spinny deathy. Hello. Woo! Does kind of glance off the camera a little bit. Fair enough, not too bad. 3rd hatch is almost finished. That's a good thing. 1 worker on gas. Let's see, when does SERRAL put back on gas? A lot of people do it with their first lava inject. So it'd be these next ones popping out. Actually, why is that first lava inject so late? Is that... Oh, that must be a second lava inject, I guess. He's already got 2 creep tumors, interestingly. I guess he went a very quick 3rd hatchery as well. So fascinating. And does he... Yeah, you see, it's the... Okay, so it is the first lava inject, but his lava inject, he skipped to get 2 tumors down instantly. Wow, fascinating. So SERRAL is saying, hey, you've given up map control. I'm going to skip and inject early, and I'm going to spread creep like a mad lad. Wow. 4 tumors already out, and because there's nothing to contest them. That looks really good. Now, because you've gone CC first, you'd think this would slow your 2-1-1 down. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, I think this is going to hit almost the same timing as a normal 2-on-1. Overlord's going to see what's up, which is, of course, very useful. Oh. Do you guys see that? Maru committing super hard to try and trick SERRAL there.
My man.
But that delays his attack. Does SERRAL really buy that? Does SERRAL buy that? That seemed pretty obvious to me. He's like, oh, no, I'm building Hellions 2 at a time and 1 medevac. Yeah. You're like, because that makes it look like a Hellbat timing, I guess, which could be an option here. And I mean, there is a Baneling Nest. You know, he's building a few more Zerglings. SERRAL's playing pretty safe. He hasn't fully droned his third. His natural at 16. His main, just a little under saturation right now. He's got amazing creep spread though, guys. As long as he keeps that creep moving, I feel like SERRAL's in a pretty nice spot with that. The double drop moving out the right side. It is a little delayed. Quick third command center. And he is actually going to build an armory. Oh, wait, what? Huh? Why? What? Is he just preparing for Widowmine drops like super early? Like 2 minutes before he builds Widow Mines? I'm so confused. Maru's build order is confusing my brain ship, guys. My brain ship is not that big, and it's a little confusing to go for an armory even before you start building the Widow Mines, but I'll allow it. He is going to do that 2 factory style from game 1. Picks up, boost towards the main, defended. Only got a few active tumors. SERRAL is chilled right now. He's like, it's fine, man. But SERRAL is also a little low on workers. We could argue that's an issue. Until you remember, third command center is kind of slowish for Maru. I think SERRAL's happy to just make sure he's totally safe. So, as I said, guys, we're going to have those Widow Mines. Just 1 Widow Mine for now. But he's actually not even swapped the factory. Maru's build order doesn't make sense right now, guys. Now, for those who don't know, Maru said in an interview before, during this tournament, in fact, there was an interview. They had clips of him, clips of SERRAL, and a few other players all talking. And what did Maru say? Maru said, you know what? I think I really thought I would go to the finals this season. But they changed the map pool and the new maps really suck for Terran. So I'll be lucky to beat anyone. I've had to rethink my strategies. I don't really know what I'm going to be doing. So basically every Korean Terran player's interview of all time. Of course, Maru did study under the Great Innovation on how to do an interview. And remember the 3 rules of a Terran Korean player's GSL or big tournament interview. And that is the maps suck, my race sucks, Zerg and Protoss sucks. Oh wait, sorry, this is every pro gamer of all time. Never mind, guys, this is not Terran exclusive. The Terrans are just a little bit funnier with the way they word it. So I don't know, man. We haven't seen too much of the new maps, of course. He looked pretty good on Hardwire in that last one. But I guess Curious Minds did give him a bit of a rough time. This is, of course, a map from the previous season left over. He's going to go in. That Widow Mine burrows. Oh! Focused the Overseer, but a second Overseer came in. No boomies for Maru. He does save all the Marines, though, so not too bad. I like the focus on the Overseer there to try and keep that alive. 1-1 upgrades are on the way, and they're actually slightly ahead of SERRAL's upgrades, which are very far behind. And SERRAL, I think, keeps expecting a big attack to come, just by the way he's doing things. He's just kind of like so cautious on his work account. But I mean, this has always been the way SERRAL plays, right? Raynor gets ahead of people on workers. SERRAL shuts down their army and their fights, and that's how he gets ahead. Ooh, ow, ooh, ow, 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 ow. Okay, so those guys get a bunch of Zerglings. At least it's not drones. It's better to lose a few links to this than anything else. That Widow Mine goes down before it can fire. This one, being a cheeky bugger, does not get burrowed. Banelings rolled in at the same time, and they got 4 SCVs. 2 of them try to run away. The Marines are like, oi! What the hell? The Banelings are like, lol, 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 we just blew up your family. Oh, Widow Mine does go down up there. So the Mass Queen defends the second Widow Mine drop, which probably had a few Widow Mines in it. Yeah, 8 Widow Mines have gone down this game. Those Banelings do go down. Marines on the left side are going to come on in, guys. Drilling Claws is now finished for Maru. Mauling's looking for run-bys. He's building barracks and a 4th command center out front. If he can get that up, that's going to secure his position. 2-2 on the way. Maru wants to go to the big boy macro game again. To be fair, I really feel like when we entered the online phase of big tournaments, Innovation was the guy who showed us how to play this mega macro style where you just keep Widow Mine dropping, keep macroing, keep expanding. You're not going to force your ability to win in one fight, but if you just create enough situations with enough Widow Mines, enough multitasking, over time you can wear the Zerg down, and you can actually match them in expansions as well. And you say, hey, it's your job to attack into me. It's very hard to kill a Zerg ever at this top level, but especially when you're playing with even a little bit of latency, both sides struggle to break each other on the offense. So it's kind of pushed us, I think, even more so into this mega macro phase of Terran saying, I'm just going to take a 4th, take a 5th, and I'm going to keep setting up Widowmine drops, setting up these pre-spread kind of biomine traps on either side of the map and try to bait you into my layers upon layer of Widowmines, and that's the whole goal here. The Marines doing what they can, but the Hydras are going to give a bit more control for SERRAL, who desperately needs to respread creep. There is Queens going walkabout right now. Duh! There's Queens way off creep there. Really needs to respread creep in the middle. That's a big mistake for SERRAL, guys. This is a really big mistake. So important to respread it in the middle area. He has split his army very well, though, as we get some nice juicy farts coming in. That's right. That is the sound effect when people cheer. So thank you, guys. Appreciate your farts. They smell like roses to me. Appreciate StarCraft fans, all of yous. Thank you very much. Oh. Okay. He's like, no. Go past. Widowmine there just killed 6 Zerglings. Hydraling Bane clears the Watchtower. Drop in the back, but it's in Spore range. This seems good for SERRAL. Yeah, he's got enough Banes. He's going to get on top. Pick up. Get out. Oh, okay. Trying to dance around the back line. But look at that Hydralisk. That Hydralisk has very cruel intentions. It really wants to just blast these guys out of the sky right now. Queen's on the left going to stop those medevacs from rotating. Maru doing a little bit of a patrol. But those Marines on the right do go down. Oi! What did she do? You banged out, man, didn't you? I saw you injecting that hatchery, Brenda. I didn't. I swear I didn't. I didn't inject your hatchery. That's your hatchery. Anyways, Widowmines get some shots on the right side as well. Apparently, they did sort their differences out as Brenda, Karen, and Jimmy all managed to solve their differences and come together for the swarm. Anyways, Bio does get pushed off that right side watchtower. Hydra Bane over there is going to have a bit of a party. I don't know, man. This is a very kind of good macro setup for SERRAL, especially if he could put a friggin' creep tumor back in this middle area. This big gaping just lack of creep in the middle. Oh, Widowmine. Oh, look at that. He split a single Zergling to take a Widowmine in a big fight. Just SERRAL things there. Maru on the left side going to rotate his bio around that top left. We've got 3-3 on the way. Feels like Maru's behind the curve on the command center explosion. He's getting 2 more, but Baneling flank. Oh, very nice Baneling flank. Forces him to evacuate. That Marine does a spready to the moon and does actually float off to his death. Right now, the unit's loss tab is actually looking barely better for Maru. And when the Zerg has 5 bases untouched like this, that's pretty bad. Still no creep in this big chasm there. Chasm and creep is a Terran playhouse, man. That's where they want to hang. SERRAL, spread your creep. Maru's keeping him busy though. Maru's not giving him a moment right now. Lurker transition is on the way. Adrenal glands +3 armor. It's going to be a slow transition to Lurkers as SERRAL tries to expand to both corners of the map at once. This can look really good when you're in control, but if you suddenly lose those fights, you can just lose bases on both sides of the map very quickly. They're very exposed. Ling's going to come in from the bottom left. The Widowmines will get some hits on those. Going to make it a little hard, but they get a bit of a flank. The Hydras come in. Do shoot down 1 or 2 of the medevacs. The Ling Bane forcing the pickup to get out of there. Double drop on the left. Queens will come in. Start hitting that medevac a little bit. Just going to chase that one off for now. Okay, so Vipers are on the way. 3-3s on the way. Maru, is he pulling into his shell or not? Right now, guys, we have Maru, and he was so clear in his focus. On Hardwire, he was pushing a little bit more, but then he swapped into the kind of more turtly defensive focus. He did that in game 1 as well. And I think it looked pretty good, but right now, where is that focus? There's no Ghost Academy. He's staying on bio. He's getting extra orbitals kind of steadily and slowly, but not that fast. And I kind of look at this and go, okay, Maru, are you diving and attacking? Because you don't have any momentum. It doesn't make sense to do that, but where's the Ghost Academy? You know, he's going up to 10 barracks right now. 10 barracks again. He loves this massive production, but he doesn't have his orbital bank up, and he doesn't actually have any Ghost Tech. So can he actually defend against this giant Lurker army? SERRAL does not have his upgrades on the Lurkers yet. Oh no. He does get Lurker range now, but he's already getting jumped on. Is this a crazy fight for Maru? Yes, it is. Maru, you mad lad. Who attacks into Lurkers like that? Apparently, you're brave enough to do it. He does keep a surprising number of his units alive, gets a few of those valuable Zerg units, and he's going to flank it, but you can't attack down that ramp. If he wants to flank it, he needs to come around the right side. Lurker coming in on the right. He's going to say, hello, how do you like your mining? And SERRAL, he's going to just kind of winch his army around, go to the left side, start to rotate it to greet his reinforcements and crush that little section of Maru's forces. Maru's mineral line looking mighty exposed. Baneling's going to wander on in there soon. The Marine Marauder on the left put up a good fight until the Banelings closed the distance. And here we go, the Lurkers are in range. Maru's going to try to just jump on top. He actually kills quite a few of the Lurkers. Some great focus fire but that seemed like a costly trade for him. Still, no Ghost in the mix. Full Energy Viper wanders into the battlefield. Hydra Lurker on the right side. He's coming in from all sides. Serral's got a Pervert Overlord on the right. The Overseer popping that eyeball out of the top of its head, and it looks like he's just got too much right now. He's going to get in between the bases, and this allows him to branch Lurkers off in the midst of this. This looked like, remember, this Lurker move looked like such a great one. He shift clicks the SCVs. Oh, did you guys see that order? He had queued the Lurker to attack every single SCV before it defaults to wasting its time attacking the Planetary. Beautiful control from Serral there. Otherwise, of course, the Planetary is an attacking unit. It's a unit that is actually going to be that is going to take the aggro otherwise. Oh my god, Maru though, bravely pushing through that right side. He's going to take out the Lurker there as well. Bio moving in the right side, going to start to clean out the hatchery and the drones. Hydra Bane starting to filter on through. Ooh! Big Baneling hits just when it looked like Maru was going to get in the Zerg territory and cause a ruckus. Suddenly, Serral just crushes through. And remember, he's still denying mining on the left side. This base is burning. How can you sleep while the command center's burning, Maru? I think he's out of scans as well, because remember, he never got the max orbitals up. So that the way we've seen a lot of the Zergs beat Raynor recently, with the Lurkers everywhere, they looks powerful. Maru, I think he got a bit too carried away with the multi-pronged bio drops. A little too slow to get the orbitals. Masses of Myrex, lots of aggression, but he just could not find a way in on 2,000 atmospheres. Serral does manage to take the 2-1, and you know, I'm sure the Maru fans a little bit annoyed at that one. The Serral fans rejoicing, but a very good back and forth series. And honestly, the way Maru harassed him down on Hardwire was just a beautiful thing. Very, very well done. GG's to both players, still the absolute top of their game. Serral and Maru. Can we please see more of this match, please? Internet, please deliver. We need these guys to play more often. GG, well played.